Hey everyone, this is Kel from video, board, and card game Trinity, and this is my review for Tom Clancy's The Division, a third-person cover shooter MMO for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. As always, this review is my own honest opinion, no bullshit. I'll cover graphics, sound, gameplay, and how much I personally liked it. Of course, at the end, I'll say whether or not I believe it's worth your hard-earned money. Keep in mind that this review is for the PS4 version of the game. First up, we have graphics. Now, while the game doesn't look anywhere near as good as it did in that trailer back when it was first announced, it still looks pretty damn good for a PS4 game. New York is packed with detail, especially in the interior areas. Apartments are cluttered with all sorts of decorations that really helped create a believable world. One area in particular that I thought was really cool is the Broadway Emporium story mission. The large fire burning in the center combined with the lighting and reflective surfaces made for a pretty sweet scene. With that said, I do have to point out that I was pretty disappointed in the character creator, as it has very few options and everyone basically looks the same. I know that's not a big deal for most people, but I thought it was pretty lame. Next we have sound, which I found overall to be pretty excellent. The guns sound realistic and impactful, while the music is solid and gets you pumped during big action sequences. A small touch that I particularly liked is that you can hear the shell casings fall to the ground after firing off a shotgun. It's little nuances like that which largely go unnoticed and help create a cohesive experience. The voice acting is adequate. The main characters do a decent job of conveying the tension present in a virus-ridden apocalyptic scenario. The extra side characters and random dudes you hear every so often are fine, but annoying at times. Now we have the gameplay. The moment-to-moment gameplay feels pretty good, but not remarkable. You'll be doing a lot of hiding behind cover and shooting dudes from a distance, and it does a pretty decent job of that. Keep in mind that this is an RPG, and things like reload speed and how fast you kill enemies are determined by stats. At times, your opponents can feel bullet spongy, and other times you can mow through dudes like a hot knife through butter. It's all determined by how good your gear is and what difficulty setting you're doing story missions on. With that said, there are basically three types of missions in the game: encounters, side missions, and story missions. Encounters are quick, simple missions that are quite easy. These include defending a spot from waves of enemies or simply freeing some hostages. Side missions are more involved, but still fairly simple. Tracking down a missing person or hunting down a wanted enemy are a few examples of side missions. The story missions are where I found the most enjoyment to be. Think of these as the dungeons of the game. Each one has a varied location with a narrative to go along with it. At the end, you always face some named boss enemy, though they're almost always just some dude with more HP and damage than others. Story missions can also be completed on harder difficulties, which offer greater rewards. Completing any of these types of missions will reward you with specific points that you can use to upgrade your home base. If you get bored with the PvE side of things, you can always jump into the game's PvP area, the Dark Zone. Here, you gain separate PvP-only levels that you need to equip high-level Dark Zone gear. Each area of the Dark Zone has a specific level range, so don't expect to get ganked by players 15 levels higher than you. However, there is no mercy in the Dark Zone. Kill or be killed is the name of the game, and you must extract and protect your loot via chopper in order to keep it. Finally, we come to how much I personally enjoyed the game. Overall, I liked it. It's not something I'll play through multiple times, but it is something I may continue to play for a little while longer. It's the sort of game that I like to play while listening to a podcast or music, not during the main story missions, but perhaps during the encounter missions or dailies once you've hit max level. The game takes around 30 to 40 hours to hit max level if you take your time and enjoy the experience. I'm sure you can cut that in half if you just blaze through it. With that said, I don't really regret spending $60 on it, though I can say it's definitely not for everyone. For people who enjoy RPG shooter loot fests like Borderlands or Destiny, and are cool with the cover-based mechanics, I'd say go ahead and pick it up. You might find some enjoyment out of it, especially if played with friends. Everyone else that's still on the fence may just want to wait for a price drop. If you're not into the genre at all, then this isn't the game to persuade you otherwise. As always, if you liked the video, then maybe leave a like, maybe even subscribe. That would be dank. Regardless of what you do, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Have a good one, all. Bye-bye.